Hey, welcome back to the Go Fast Garage. I know it's been a minute or a year, but I'm back and we got the 71 F100 here back in the picture here. Bit of a long story on this truck. There's a bit of a reason why I haven't been posting lately. The fact is I sold this truck. This truck went away last summer and went to a new owner. And he enjoyed the heck out of the truck, drove the snot out of it all summer long, and has brought it back to me now to get a couple things tuned up on it, and an oil change, and finish up a couple little projects that never got finished the first time around on the truck. So I guess I'm going to take you guys along with me on that, and as we go we'll discuss the future and what future projects might come about. And looks like there could be some pretty exciting stuff that we're going to be doing in the future. So we'll see how that all goes. But for now, let's get to work. Okay, first on the list of things to do is to install an oil pressure sensor on this truck. I put the Dakota digital gauges in this truck, and there's no provision for it to read off the factory sensor. So I'm going to mount this one, and normally the oil pressure sensor goes in the back of the block, right behind the intake manifold. On this truck with the supercharger on there right now, it's way too hard to get to, and you have to buy an adapter in order to make it fit an aftermarket sensor. So what I'm going to do is I pulled off this plate off the side of the engine, and this is where the factory oil cooler, engine oil cooler would go. Normally on the trucks there's a couple of lines that run off of here and run up front to the cooler. On this truck I deleted that using this piece. It's actually off of a Corvette. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drill and tap this and put the sensor right into the side of this here, and it should mount on the side of the engine and provide us a reading for the oil pressure sensor. So I got to drill it out. It's an 1/8 NPT tap that I need to use on here. This requires a 7/16 bit, which I've got a few to step myself up to that size, so I'm going to go ahead and try to drill this guy now. I've got drilled and tapped and the sensor mounted in. Got a little bit crooked, but I don't think that's going to matter. It's got tons of room underneath the truck there, so that's not going to be a big deal at all. Now I just got to go get a gasket from the dealership, and last time I decided on with this black gasket maker, and it did hold, but I'm going to see if they actually have the proper gasket for it at the dealership here, and if not, I'll put it back together. But I got to go get some oil anyways because I'm doing an oil change on the truck. So I'm going to run to town, and when I get back, we'll install this. And there it is. That's the oil pressure sensor, and mounted right into the side of that bypass block. And let's get ready to fire up the truck here and see if we got oil pressure. But that should do it. I've ran the wire now up into and through the dash, and already wired it into the Dakota digital gauges. So let's go fire it up and see if we got oil pressure. Okay, I've got the gauges out just because I needed to get access to the wiring here. It's probably too dark for you to see anything, but let's just fire this up. See the oil pressure gauge on the bottom left? Yeah, there it is. There we go, good oil pressure. Always knew it had oil pressure, but just never had a gauge to tell me the truth. So one more thing off the list. Now, see, we're going to go through this whole truck and nut and bolt everything and check the works on it. And I just did put some fresh oil in it and just get the thing ready for the summer season. All right, as I was continuing to go through this truck, I did find, well, you can see it here on the engine, there's coolant, dried coolant all over under the hood. So I got to looking and I found that the radiator was leaking. So I took it out and I took it down to the local rad shop, and they pressure tested it, and they found that it was leaking in 3 out of the 4 corners. So I'm not really sure why, but kind of sucks. This is going to put this truck down for a couple of weeks waiting for a new radiator to come in. The rad shop said they could have repaired it, but they would have had to tear out a bunch of fins and then epoxy it, and it just would have been ugly, and they couldn't guarantee the repair. So what's the point in trying to get it repaired when we can replace it with something that hopefully will work again? I don't know why it failed, but hopefully the new one holds up a little bit better than this one did. So that's about it for today. Pretty much done what I can do without getting any parts. So now I'm going to be waiting on parts. And that's not the only thing we have to do to this truck. We got the cruise control kit to install too, so that's going to be in an upcoming video. Unfortunately, I won't be able to test the cruise control until I get the radiator replaced in the truck. But that's coming soon. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.